Hey there, it is JRSD here. I am your coach of the Seattle Pidgeots, and we are here for another IBL Season 7 playoffs game here versus Skyhorse Tamer, fellow mod, friend, and great battler. Yeah, so obviously we beat Lily in the quarterfinal, or in the wild card matchup of the playoffs. We move on to the quarterfinals here. Against Sky, we played him in week 7. His roster is pretty much the same. I believe he didn't make any changes since then. So Tornadus Therian, Necrozma, Toxapex, Zarude, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Alola Ninetales, Jolteon, Mega Adino, Camerupt, Steelix, Sliggoo, and Gogoat. We just take a look. This was the first game we had. He brought Urshifu, Tornadus, Toxapex, Audino, Necrozma, and the Zarude. And basically, I didn't bring any hazard removal, and he brought Toxic Spikes. And it really messed up my game plan. As you can see, I got some luck here during the game. Where is it? Yeah, here in the crit on the Audino. And then I was kind of able to bring it back, even though with the Toxic Spikes there. Yeah, I was able to bring it back to a manageable game here with Kyurem. Obviously being able to set up on the Toxapex. Go for the sub, blah blah blah. This is old, but yeah. Anyway, we lose 1-0 in that game, and so this week we are bringing. We don't want to lose Toxic Spikes. Yeah, we don't want to lose to Toxic Spikes. So bringing Defog with the Flying Fox, Crobat, Black Sludge, Max Attack, and then some Bulk with Brave Bird, and then Roost, Taunt, Defog. We are bringing Wombat's Poop Squares, Physically Defensive Slowbro, excuse me, yeah, basic Slowbro there. Then we're bringing Opal, the Diancie, with Substitute and 3 attacks. Haka, same Cure Black set as before, but this time I have, instead of Dragon Pulse, I have Flash Cannon to hit the Audino. And then Apollo Choice Scarfed Decidueye, special with Leaf Storm Shadow Ball. And then an interesting Registeel set, Flash Cannon, Charge Beam, Block, and Toxic. This was primarily, obviously, for Toxapex, hoping it's physically defensive. And then being able to block it and charge beam up, hopefully, and beat it. So he brought the exact same team as last time, obviously different sets, I assume. I lead off with Diancie, he leads off with Necrozma, and I just go for sub. I figured he might have like a steel move, or like kind of some kind of setup or something like that. So I wanted to get behind the sub, see what he wanted to do. He clicks Meteor Beam and he has Power Herb, but he misses, which is crazy. We're able to get a Moonblast off and get the drop at the same time. He goes for Photon Geyser there, just to break the sub. Go for Moonblast again. Registeel comes out now. He is Liquidation like last time. He is Physical. Which obviously physical Toxapex beats Calm Mind Diancie, which is pretty good. He goes for Knockoff, knocking off our leftovers. We go for Charge Beam, and I can see right away that the damage is not enough, and he is specially defensive. So basically, we kind of just waste Registeel here, unfortunately. Yeah, so I go for Flash Cannon last time, trying to get a split F drop here. But it's not doing enough, so. And yeah. it's not working. So he's able to take us out eventually, but he's at half. So I mean, that's consolation, I guess. We can go into cure him here. He goes odd, no. I go for substitute. I go for Flash Cannon, does 40. Goes for Calm Mind there. Go for Flash Cannon again and get a crit. And knock him out. So, yeah. Hacks. Hacks is a big thing so far. Missed a Meteor Beam. Crit the odd, no. Yeah. Pretty bad so far for him. What am I saying? Curum is also able to take out the Necrozma here as he goes into the Urshifu to break the sub first. Yeah, so taking out the Necrozma. I go into Crobat here on the Urshifu. Goes for U-turn into the Tornadus. I go for Brave Bird, does a lot of damage, and he misses Hurricane. So that's another bit of hacks for him, or against him, I guess. And we go for Brave Bird there. Toxapex takes it very well. Go back and cure him as he goes for knockoff. Knockoff the heavy duty boots, probably not the best play on my part. I probably should have just stayed in with defog or something. I predict the Urshifu switch in and don't sub. I just go for the freeze dry and take him out there. Goes for close combat with Zarude. We take that with the Diancie and go for Diamond Storm, but that's not going to be enough to do much to the Toxapex, obviously. We are forced back into Curum, but we have to get poisoned, so it's unfortunate. He goes for Recover as we set up a sub. Freeze Dry, not doing over half, so that's unfortunate. But we're able to roost up, take the knockoff damage with the sub, obviously, and roost up ourselves as he's clicking Recover and then Liquidation. Basically just trying to get some rolls here and take out the Toxapex if possible. I go for Freeze Dry here on the switch to Zarude, which is pretty obvious. And then I go into Apollo on the switch to Torn. He goes for Hurricane. It's a roll for me to take him out, so I just roost up one time, hoping he'd miss. Obviously, he does not. And we take him down 2%, taking ourselves out as he goes for Nasty Plot. But we are able to go into the Decidueye. He goes Toxapex. We go cure him. He goes into Rude. I predict the close combat there and tank it with the Decidueye. It's a close game at this point. He's got the regen core of Toxapex and Tornadus, plus Zarude, who's pretty good at taking us out as well. And then there, it was a tough play. Basically came down to a 50-50 here. So I was not behind a sub, but I would have died. Let's go back. Yeah, so obviously I died to a close combat, but I live a non-boosting item, which he was not. A non-boosting item, Darkest Lariat from this range. It does 36 maximum, I believe. So it was a 50-50. I had switched into Decidueye prior on a close combat. I could also go Slowbro, but then if he Darkest Lariats, it doesn't really matter from that point on, because then he just can freely Darkest Lariat. But yeah, so I basically had to either call the close combat, go into Decidueye, or he goes for Darkest Lariat and takes out the Decidueye, or he predicts the Decidueye play, goes for Darkest Lariat, and I stay in, I live it, and I kill with Freeze Dry. I probably died to poison, but then Apollo, the Decidueye, can work on the Torn and the Toxapex outspeeding both, and hopefully being able to get the win off there. But he ended up going for close combat there. And yeah, that's basically the game at this point. He's got the regen core here, and I just let it kind of go down. Yeah, so GG to Sky. He goes on to the semifinals, and we are done for the season. It was a good season. Kind of disappointed in the overall record of the season, but I'm glad we made playoffs, and I feel like this team did well. Overall, I didn't play the best season, I think. But yeah, no, it's cool. So yeah, so next season hopefully will be starting in about a month. That's when I will come back to YouTube probably. Might have a fun video here and there maybe. We'll see. But yeah, so no QDL. QDL's done. IBL Season 7 is done, and we will await the next seasons of each of those. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support continuously. And yeah, leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you are new. And we will catch you in the next one. Peace.